I gave myself the challenge of practicing embroidery every day for 30 days. And part of that challenge was sharing that on TikTok and YouTube Shorts. And the goal was basically to see if I could improve and get better at embroidery. I mean, technically you should if you do something every day consistently for any length of time, hopefully. Now for me, I find I need a reason to practice things, otherwise I tend to just not do them. So if there's a reason to do something, I will do it. And I thought a 30-day challenge would keep me accountable and consistent, and it definitely did. More so than I thought it would. So some turned out pretty good, and some were pretty bad, and some turned out, well, experimental. So I taught myself how to embroider about 5 years ago after my mother unexpectedly passed away, as a way to just sort of deal and get through the grief and focus on something. And I kind of gave up on it because I was like, I don't know. And I have sewn most of my life off and on. So I already had the basics, but I did learn so much throughout this entire process. Day 1 of 30 days of practicing embroidery. I'm going to start with something simple. I started this whole thing with just trying to do something simple because I find the hardest part is just starting. I had procrastinated on this idea before I started filming and posting for quite some time. Halfway through I started getting a bit cranky and a bit, felt like I was kind of forcing it a bit. So some of them didn't go that great, i.e. the disco ball. So throughout this entire process, I learned a lot of new stitches and tried to work a bit on my drawing skills because they're rusty. And I kind of forgot that, hey, you kind of need to know how to draw to some capacity to do this. Otherwise it's challenging. I think my favorite ones are the 3D ones, like the 3D snake and the flowers, the fluffy flowers, which I love. I love it so much. And the Starry Night and the heart. This heart one that I did. I really like that one. My least favorite ones were definitely the disco ball, the disaster of a flower, this weird applique one. Although my favorite one to actually do was the one where I did it on my sewing machine. I did freehand embroidery on my sewing machine. It looks terrible, but it's really fun to do. It's really it's satisfying. It's I don't even know how to explain it. It's just so fun. I mean, I probably could get better at it if I practiced. I just don't know what I'd do with it. I just love the process of it and seeing it all come together, and half the time how you think it's going to turn out, it turns out completely different, but better, sometimes worse, but ideally better. And just kind of trusting the process and allowing yourself to go with the flow with it. My favorite part about being creative is just being in the moment and being so immersed in it that you forget where you are and what's going on, and you lose yourself in it. Things I didn't enjoy was I kind of started feeling a bit rushed and a bit pressured with some of them because it's I need to get it done because I didn't give myself any breathing room. But I think that was the only thing I didn't really enjoy. I also kept making a lot of them way too big for a single day, a couple hour kind of project, because some of them took a very long time. Way longer than they should have. Every time I kept doing it, I'm like, oh, I should have made it smaller. And honestly, I cannot believe I actually finished this 30-day thing because I have been known to start things and not finish them, which is most things in my life. But I think for me, the biggest thing that I took away from this little 30-day challenge thing was that it helped to really create trust within myself, that I can commit to things and that I can follow through. It's like that idea of keeping the promises that you make to yourself. And the more you trust in yourself that you will do the things you say you're going to do and not give up on yourself, which I have definitely gotten the habit of doing most of my life. And for me, it was definitely this habit of just living in my head where I had all these ideas, always coming up with ideas and basically never really following through on any of them. I would just live it out in my head and never actually do it. And it's safer that way, you know? There's no risk involved. And it's risky to put something creative out there into the world, even if it's just for your friends or a couple people to see it. And then I would just feel disappointed in myself, and it would just become the cycle of not trusting myself and never actually doing the things I said I was gonna do. So if you relate to that at all, I would highly suggest giving yourself a little challenge, whether it's 30 days or 10 days or whatever, of just something that you've always wanted to do or learn, because it builds that confidence. And I personally really needed that. And you will definitely learn a lot about yourself in the process. And I think sharing this whole thing online made a huge difference for me because all your nice comments and encouragement meant the world to me. And it really kept me going. It motivated me to keep going. And I think I definitely improved my embroidery. I did get a lot faster, my stitches got a lot better. So moving forward, I'll be doing more sewing videos, more embroidery stuff. I want to expand on some of the projects I've done in this 30-day project and, other creative, textile-y kind of things. And maybe some music stuff. If you don't know, I'm also a singer-songwriter, so maybe some music stuff. Thanks so much for watching and following along. Let me know any suggestions for a series that I could do again, and I'll see you in the next video.